I'm going to talk about Texas quarterback Quinn Ewers, talk about keys for success for Quinn against Georgia's defense. We got 4 or 5 keys that I want to hit on. Then we got maybe 5 or 6 clips of film of Quinn that do a good job demonstrating what these keys are. But before we talk about Quinn, let's talk about Georgia's defense for 60 to 90 seconds or so and talk about why they're able to have so much success against Texas in round 1, because it was by far Georgia's best performance defensively. I mean, they only gave up 15 points to Texas, which is the 3rd lowest points they've given up in SEC play. Auburn was 13, Kentucky was 12. So by far their best performance defensively. So why were they able to have so much success against Texas in round 1? I think it comes to kind of 2 main things that Texas's offense relies on. Number 1, getting the ball out quickly. The behind line of scrimmage throws, the quick screens that Texas relies on. They weren't able to get much success on that. Georgia kept everything in front. And then number 2, Sark's creativity and scheming guys open. They weren't able to do against Georgia's defense. Georgia shut that down as well. So they weren't really able to answer that. You know, they had the second or the third quarter that had some success, but overall they weren't able to answer that. They had 3 forced fumbles. They had an interception. And they recovered all those fumbles, by the way. They had 7 sacks against Texas, and they only had 30 sacks the entire year. So a fourth of Georgia's defensive sacks came against Texas. 30 total pressures, only blitzed 30% or 32-ish maybe percent of Quinn and Arch's dropbacks. They were able to get pressure by just bringing forward, and when they blitzed, it was strategic blitzing that messed with Quinn, right? So if you're Quinn, how do you respond to this? How do you respond to Georgia? You know, Georgia is breaking down your film. They're trying to make improvements and progressions from the first game. So how do you respond to Georgia, especially if they take away the screens, especially if they take away Sark's creativity? I think it comes back to a few points that we're about to hit on. It's a big bounce back opportunity for Quinn, as he was 25 of 43 for 211 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, and 2 fumbles that he lost against Georgia. So how do you respond? Well, key number 1, feet set on your throws when there's no pressure. I'm not talking about scrambling or maneuvering in the pocket, but getting your feet set, getting the ball out on time. We've seen this a lot more out of Quinn, especially against Florida, against Kentucky. He was having some success when there was no pressure. His feet were set. He's able to rotate. He looked like he was getting a bit more healthy until the ankle injury. Key number 2, and we saw this against A&M, but the ability to move within the pocket or even scramble when you need to, I think is going to be huge against Georgia's upcoming weekend. Now, we saw this a little bit against A&M on the scrambling side, but we saw it like several plays against Michigan in week 2 before he got hurt, and we saw this more last year. We saw him be better moving in the pocket, not kind of having those kind of confusing sacks like, hey, he didn't really even get hit, he got sacked. So I think maneuvering in the pocket, using your feet to set up the throw is key number 2 that will be important. Key number 3 is play action. Quinn is much better off of play action, or seems a bit more comfortable, and it's part of Sark's game. 43% of Quinn's dropbacks this year have been off play action, 10 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 1,154 yards passing with a 70% completion percentage. Against Georgia, they only used play action 34% of Quinn's dropbacks. He was 10 of 14 for $124. It was the only statistical kind of analytical point from PFF where Quinn graded out okay. So, you know, the game didn't go their way. They had to get out of their game plan, their script. But relying on play action, I think, will be key for Texas. Key number 4, hit on a deep ball or 2. You know, Georgia was able to keep everything in front. They're probably going to try to game plan the exact same thing. But you do want to hit on a deep ball or 2, I think, to win this game, especially if Sark can't scheme open wide receivers, especially if the screen game isn't getting up and going. You're going to have to hit on a deep ball to win. And the last keys, just avoid the disaster plays. Avoid the plays that change momentum, right? Like the Aggie pick 6, even the fumble return against Kentucky for a touchdown. It was 24-7. Then at that point, it goes 24-14. Now the game is actually kind of a game. Now, he's done better taking care of the football, at least interception-wise. Especially the past 4 games, he has 10 touchdowns to 1 pick. But he has 8 fumbles this season. So just hold on to the ball and avoid these disaster plays. Now, obviously, we're just talking about the quarterback perspective. The offensive and defensive line is probably where this game is going to be won on, right? Offensive line for Texas is going to want to make a statement, have a comeback game from their first game against Georgia. So that's probably where the game's going to be won on. Getting the run game going is huge, but we're a quarterback channel, so we just talk about the quarterback perspective. So we're going to go ahead and watch a few of these clips of Quinn. We got like 5 or 6 throws that I want to watch. Again, getting his feet set, but also key number 2, maneuvering in the pocket and throwing on the run when you need to. Play action, hitting on the deep ball, and avoiding the disaster play are the big keys for Quinn in this rematch against Georgia. So with that said, let's go ahead and check out a few clips of Quinn. 7 clips of Quinn, and Texas fans or Georgia fans or just quarterback fans, if you're watching this is broadcast footage. I do apologize. We have to slow the video down, but it does a good enough job getting our point across. So, in Georgia fans, we have a video, if it's not already out, of it will be out soon, of Carson Beck and the keys against the Texas defense, if you want to watch that. So, okay, 3rd and 7, first 2 clips, getting your feet set. This is against Florida. His feet are set. It's going to be a little corner/out route to Bond. Takes a hitch up in the pocket, able to rotate on that front leg. The front leg stays firm, able to absorb that force. Ends up being a nice, accurate throw from Quinn. And Jesse Palmer was on the call for this game when he was talking about the importance of Quinn's footwork and how it was improving, at least at this point in the season. So here's another clip. It's a 3rd and 11 against Kentucky. It's a good timing throw. It's on time because Quinn's footwork is on time, and the ball is out. Top of the screen is going to throw it to. The ball is out before the receiver even breaks. Right now, the ball is coming out. He hasn't even started breaking it, or this is his first step to start. We're going to see he has good footwork in the pocket. That allows him to be on time with his throws. Again, there's no pressure yet. The ball is on time. Ends up being a good play for Quinn. But you can see, let's go back. There's going to be quick hitch, and then gets his feet set, rotates on that front leg. Good throw there, right? So the footwork leads to a lot of accuracy. It cleans a lot of accuracy issues. It helps being on time as well. Next clips we'll watch. So I know we talked about his feet being set, but when there's pressure, when you have to move in the pocket, I think it's a big key for Quinn. He has the ability to do it. He just hasn't done it since he had that oblique injury, and then he's coming back from that. Then he has an ankle injury. But these type of throws I think could be huge against Georgia, especially if they can get some pressure like last game. Able to maneuver in the pocket, his eyes remain downfield, boom. So you want his feet set, yes, but on plays that you have to move in the pocket, you want to be able to move and throw these type of throws, which he has the ability to do, just hasn't seen it as often. But he did it several times against Michigan. Did it in this clip, he did it on the first touchdown that was called back, I think to Moore, and then this clip too, he does it to Helm. Now, this is a little play action, so we want to get play action involved, so this will be the first clip of play action. He moves in the pocket, throws on the run for a touchdown to tight end Gunnar Helm, right? So again, you don't have to be a burner. You don't have to have the 30, 40-yard run, whatever you had, whatever that long run was against A&M. But you do have to be mobile in the pocket and maneuver in the pocket with your eyes downfield. So I think that's key number 2. That leads to the play action like we just saw. Here's another play action against A&M. Quick fake to Wisner, and then he dumps it off to Helm. Play action gets guys out of position and helps set up some throws. It's part of Sark's game. It's part of Quinn's comfort, essentially. Like, he's comfortable throwing off play action. He's very good at it. They got away from it the first time against Georgia because the game kind of got out of hand, and so I think you want to make sure you have that as part of your passing game, right? So let's see. All right, last 2 clips to watch are deep balls from Quinn, because I think you're going to have to hit on at least 1 or 2 of these type of throws to win the game, especially if Georgia takes away the underneath stuff like they did the first time. This is a great throw from Quinn. A&M only is bringing 4. Deep ball, probably the best throw of the game from Quinn against A&M. Again, the ability is there to hit these type of throws. It just has to be done consistently. I think he only has 12 completions where the ball's thrown 20 yards or more downfield this season. Now, he did miss a few games, so take that number with a grain of salt. But still, I think you want more throws like this. And to win the game, I think you may have to hit on a deep throw too, like we talked about, especially if they're taking away the screen stuff. Here's the last clip that we'll watch. This is against Michigan, and this is another deep throw, accurate throw, tough catch, I think to Isaiah Bond, if I'm not mistaken. But it's a good example that the ability is there. So making these type of throws, I think, will be key in beating Georgia in round 2 in this SEC championship game. That's a really nice throw, getting the ball there before the defender can get over it and knock it loose. So Texas fans, as always, I do want to hear from y'all. What do y'all think the keys are for Quinn? We have another video coming out about Quinn going over the most important key, in my opinion, which we'll hit on our next video. But these are the top 4 or 5 clips, or top 4 or 5 keys for Quinn. Getting your feet set when there's no pressure, maneuvering in the pocket when you need to, throwing on the run, utilizing play action, getting comfortable with it, hitting on a deep ball or 2, I think will be huge for Texas, and then key number 5, avoiding any disaster plays that change momentum. So let us know your thoughts in the comments below, Texas fans, and if you're a Georgia fan, we have another clip coming out for Carson Beck, but feel free to let us know your thoughts as well in this video. And if you haven't seen or checked out this channel before, we're just a big SEC quarterback hub. We put a lot of quarterback content. So if you like that type of content, please consider subscribing. We'll have some cool stuff in the off season as well. So like the video, share all that YouTube stuff. It helps us grow. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Peace.